What's up? What's up? That's more live. That's more wedge. That's more wedge. Catching the fight tonight. I'm gonna do a round by round commentation. Sorry, it's not professional, and I'm a little dark, but I'm gonna try my best to get a little light on the situation. But as long as you can hear me, that's what's important. Both of these guys look pretty confident going into this fight. Just like in the weigh-in yesterday. You know, they both were staring. It looked like they were staring at each other, but they was actually staring away. And that's a good technique. You don't want to give nobody the edge. Some people can stare better than others. Don't mean you can fight better. But some people can really intimidate you. And they can't fight a lick. So it's better to just look away and just show and prove on fight night. So they stand in front of each other, getting the instructions for the fight. They didn't look eye to eye. They ready to fight. Anytime you see two people coming together to fight who don't look at each other, that means they're ready to rumble. I think Rigo is going to get herself in trouble trying to knock out Lomachenko. I think that's a bad move. Alright, this is the first round. You got two southpaws, so gives a lot different angles and counterpunch options. Got some interesting gloves on. Look like they're gold and blue. It's nice. Everyone's expecting this to be a really good show. First round, Lomachenko is boxing. Rigo is moving forward, just like I thought. It's going to be almost impossible to hit Lomachenko with a clean shot. And you got to remember, Rigo is a defensive type of fighter. So I really can't see him catching Lomachenko. Okay, Lomachenko caught Rigo hesitating. That's the problem with when you stepping forward trying to bring the fight to a fighter. You're always acceptable to being hit because you're the one coming first. And even though Lomachenko has this advantage in going backwards, some people still think he's too soft to win this fight because he can't punch. But this is, name of this game is boxing. So Lomachenko got all night to box without being caught by Rigo. So let's see if that can happen. First round pretty boring because there's not many bad intentions being made. Lomachenko's feeling a little bit more comfortable and staying in the middle of the ring now. And this is only the first round. Way too early to do that. That means I think Rigo is maybe changing his perspective, thinking he was going to chase Lomachenko. But it looks like Rigo is trying to slow it up a little so that Lomachenko can bring the fight to him a little bit. Then it would be better in his favor if he can catch Lomachenko getting a little confident and not backing up and maybe counterpunch Lomachenko, I can see things being turned around. But otherwise, like they taught me back in Philadelphia as a kid, the boxer beats the puncher any day. So it's hard for me to believe that Lomachenko, a world-class fighter, amateur and pro, can lose a fight against anybody backing up. So let's see what the second round does. If he continues to back up, or he goes for the bait and start getting brave against Rigondeaux. It's pretty cool to see lighter fighters like this. Have the aura of the threat of a knockout happening. Usually in little fighters, you know, you just a lot of speed, but it's good to see that there's a lot of tension in the air that somebody can be knocked out, at least by one of them, Rigondeaux. They say he hits like a 147 pounder, but that doesn't intimidate a true boxer, because a boxer beats a puncher any day. Okay, Lomachenko is starting to take the bait and coming forward even a little more in the second round. Now, can Lomachenko counterpunch? Can Rigondeaux counterpunch and show us something with his power? That's going to be the question. Right now, I haven't seen him even try. I don't see Rigo trying to counterpunch. It seems like Rigondeaux wants to even get into his defensive mode. And unfortunately and very surprising, Lomachenko is actually coming forward against Rigo to challenge Rigondeaux. I mean, like, Rigo hasn't thrown one power punch yet, but it's early. I mean, I could imagine telling my fighter to take it easy until like the 6th round. Give him confidence, let him get confidence, build up his confidence. But and Lomachenko's definitely building up his confidence. Lomachenko's coming forward now. But it's a pretty boring fight, like I thought as of right now, because a lot of strategy and nobody's going all out. Everybody's being conservative. And Rigondeaux, I hope he's planning this for a surprise punch, because as of now, Lomachenko is not fazed by Rigondeaux' punching power. And the second round is over. Okay, we're going in the third round. thus far it's only been strategy. And in this round, Rigondeaux is the one coming forward again. Maybe Lomachenko, corner, has told him to go backwards, despite Rigondeaux slowing up, perhaps to make Lomachenko come to him. But Lomachenko is back on his horses and he's moving around. But he can't help it. He keeps coming in because it seems to be so easy for him to come in. He's even throwing flurries at Lomachenko. It doesn't seem like he's a bit threatened or scared of Rigo's punching power. I was hoping that Rigo did have all that power that everyone said he did, because I wanted to see Lomachenko box his life. I wanted to box for his life, but doesn't look like Lomachenko's boxing for his life. It looks like Rigondeaux can't find his position. It really looks like Rigondeaux is not really an offensive fighter, and we know he is a defensive fighter. He's so used to people attacking him that he can't take this role of the one who comes after the other guy. It looks like he's half-stepping, not really. He's trying to put pressure on Lomachenko, but I don't think he's hitting hard enough. I think, you can definitely tell the difference in weight class. He's not able to put the pressure on Lomachenko, and it's not causing Lomachenko to go backwards. Slowly but surely, Lomachenko's coming forward. And Lomachenko's trying to do his signature footwork and in and out and looking sharp. But he's not quite hitting Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux is phenomenal defense. Unfortunately, this is not what we came to watch. We didn't come to watch two defense geniuses. Just like I thought the fight was going to be. Nobody believed that it would be boring, but I expected a boring match, and Lomachenko edged it out from having longer arms and being on the outside. And he's trying his hardest to stay on the outside, but his heart is making him go forward. And that's going to ruin his opportunity, because Rigondeaux, even if he don't land that hard punch, he's going to make Lomachenko miss a lot. You can't come forward on Rigondeaux. You have to somehow get Rigondeaux to come to you. And it looked like Lomachenko was doing that in the beginning, but he's so much going forward now because Rigondeaux' punching is just not hurting him. Okay, round 4. It's nothing like everybody thought. They thought Rigondeaux was going to have Lomachenko sweating and in danger with power punches. But Rigo is a small guy. He's a small guy. He is strong, but I think Lomachenko spars with guys a lot bigger, a lot stronger, a lot heavier. So, in this fourth round, halfway through this fourth round, you know, Lomachenko is so confident now, he's just sitting in the pocket. But he can't get into a rhythm. He can't. He's getting frustrated by Rigondeaux. He's hitting Rigondeaux in the back of the head. You know, he's rabbit punching. He's really frustrated because Rigo don't have the power to really hurt him with one punch. And he's causing Lomachenko to come forward, but Lomachenko can't hit this guy. He can barely hit Rigondeaux. And yeah, he could barely hit Rigondeaux, but it's going to be a boring fight unless we see some power. And it ain't going to come from Rigondeaux. If we're going to see some power, it look like it's got to come from the bigger fighter, but his style is very, very strange. I'm seeing Lomachenko he really can't punch. And he really can't punch. You got two defensive geniuses that's not hurting. They can't hurt a roll of toilet paper. But Lomachenko's plan, whatever it is, must be working because his corner is giving him high fives. And they're very pleased. But we're going into the fifth round, and I just don't get it. It look like two guys can't hit each other with a good punch. Very good defense. And I see no immediate threat. Even when they do land a punch, it doesn't post a great threat. Okay, we're going into the fifth round. I wish I could show you guys, but I guess it don't matter. Okay, now Rigondeaux. None of them are doing really too many slick moves. That's one thing surprising about this fight and making it extra boring is that they're not doing their signature slick moves. And that, for lighter weights like this, butterfly weights, fly weights, hitting so soft is really not that exciting and entertaining. For these guys coming out party, they really did bad for the little guys because, you know, we're not going to get a little Pac-Man power punch out of this. It looked like these guys can't hurt each other, and they barely can hit each other. And two awesome boxers who can't hurt a fly, but and to make it so bad, the one who's the strongest of these two little toy fighters is Rigondeaux, and he is too small. They should have known that when they planned this fight, because you got a power puncher who's coming to fight someone in a higher weight class who's not a power puncher. So that's going to make a boring fight because you're going to have two non-power punchers and one power puncher who's too light for the other. And then they're both defensive geniuses. So, sorry to be the one to give you bad news, but this fight is only good for people who want to use it as a teaching lesson to your students. But as far as a exciting match, man, they barely hitting each other. And when they do, it's just tapping each other. But like I thought before, Lomachenko's easily winning this fight. Just like I predicted. I'm sorry that I predicted it so well, because I wanted to be surprised. But just like I said, a boring fight. At first, I was for Rigondeaux. I thought he was going to knock Lomachenko out because he's really strong. But then I thought about it, man. He's stepping up in weight. There goes his strength. And also, Rigondeaux is easier to hit. It's interesting because Rigondeaux, when he tried to do his signature jab, move, counter punch, move, counter punch, on his angles, Lomachenko's feet is too fast. So every time Rigondeaux do his thing, Lomachenko's gone. Lomachenko is getting frustrated, and he's leaning on Rigondeaux, and he's rabbit punching, and he's doing whatever he could do to frustrate Rigondeaux, because Rigondeaux is not really coming out of his shell. And every time Rigondeaux swing, he's missing. Okay, now we got Rigo backpedaling in the 6th round. And it looks like Rigo is actually being affected a little by Lomachenko's punching. Lomachenko's working really hard. His confidence is building up. And he's really trying to go forward to hurt Rigondeaux. And Rigondeaux is in a shell, trying to tie Lomachenko up, throwing less punches now than he did in the beginning. So it's really going to be a one-way match here going into the 7th round. Rigondeaux is looking like he's tired. Lomachenko is desperately trying to make a fight out of this. Missing more than half his punches. I have to say, Rigondeaux actually looks scared. What's funny is Lomachenko's doing the most moving around. He's making the fight. And Rigondeaux is breathing the hardest. Did he give up the fight? No, it's got to be a joke. Rigondeaux quit? Nah, this can't be true. Hold on. I don't know, guys. It looks like Rigondeaux quit in the 7th round. I can't believe this. Well, yeah, doesn't make Lomachenko look that much better. He is what he is, but hey, I feel ripped off for the people who paid for this fight. I was just like Lomachenko other fight where the guy quit. What the heck is going on? I can't even believe this, man. Trying to look at these comments and see what happened. Trying to see what in the world happened. Yeah, Rigo looked pretty bad, guys. And I hear some people saying that Rigo was already overmatched, too old. Probably didn't even train for this. Remember I was saying he was breathing heavy? Now we see why. Well, good night, guys. I had a good one. Well, had a long night anyway. Peace.